So let me quickly create a virtual machine. Okay, so when you open this VMware workstation, you have multiple options. Actually, you will be there in the home screen. Once you go to the home screen, you can just click on create a new virtual machine quickly and go with the custom option. And then this is the compatibility of the virtual machine software. It will, what is the capability and the compatibility, the limitations of this tool, how, what max configuration this tool supports. This is the limitations. Okay, you don't need to worry about it because I'm going to install on operating system, that is my target. So when you say next, it is asking you to install the operating system in multiple ways. You can use the installer disk, you can use the ISO images, you can even install later. I always prefer to go with the last option, which is I will install the operating system later. Okay, click on that and here select operating system. If you are installing a Windows operating system, select Windows, and in the pop-up menu here, pop down, you can just drop down menu, you can just select whatever operating system you wanted. In my case, I am going to install the Server 2019 operating system. Okay, and I have selected that and say next. If you want Linux and other, you can click on Linux and you can see the other flavors of Linux. Okay, but in my case I'm installing Windows 2019, so I'm gonna select that, and you can just give a name. Okay, and okay, you can just select this firmware type. This is a processor, you can select by default, you don't need to change. Memory, you select minimum 4 GB. If your computer has got 8 GB, you can put 4 GB. 2 GB 2 GB for any server. If your computer has got 16 GB, you can put 4 GB. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, then select 4 GB here, and then click on next. 1 second. So I've selected 4 GB now. Say next, and this is by default NAT should be there, and here also recommended LSS SCSI should be there. The NVMe here also recommended one. You have to create a new virtual disk. Select 60 GB. Yes, by default it will come 60 GB, and we need 60 GB only. And store this file as a single file, and say next, and you just give some name of for the VHT. Fine, and the finish. See, now here I have created a new computer called Windows Server 2019 here. Okay, this is just to show you how to create a blank VM in the VMware workstation, because this is what we learned in the last 2-3 days class. Okay, so now what I will do, before this class, 2 minutes before this class, I created one blank computer here. Okay, this is called as DC0, that is the naming standard which we wanted to do. Okay, if I power on this computer now, this computer doesn't have any operating system. It's a bare metal thing. Okay, see, it is, I have added a CD. Okay, there is no operating system in it, but I have just added a CD or inserted a CD so that I can install the operating system from that. Okay, so see, now it says there is no operating system found. It is checking in the network, it will check in the DVD, it will also check in the wherever media is available. Okay, it says it's throw an error stating no operating system found, because this is a freshly created operating, I mean, a computer, and it doesn't have any operating system. So what I will do, I am gonna shut down this one, right click and say power off. Okay, I'll just power it off, and this 2019 I don't need, let me delete it. This is just to show you how to create a blank VM. Okay, so now if I power on this DC01, okay, to install the operating system, see, I have added a CD. It is asking me to press any key to boot from the CD. It is asking me to, it automatically detected some media, and it is asking me to please press any key. I have detected an operating system. Press any key to boot from the CD. Means the computer is an intelligent device, right? It automatically detects bootable images if you are plugged in, and it says I've already performed the bootable thing. Would you like to continue with that media? If you want to continue, please press any key so that I'll consider that as yes and continue installation. Okay, that's what I did. I have selected yes. I pressed the space bar and it got selected. Okay, and now it is giving me the installation wizard. This is the Windows Server 2019 first screen. It will tell you language to install, time, and the currency format, and the keyboard layout and all. We normally 99.99% of the time we go with English US only. So we'll go next. Once you click on next, it will ask you, would you like to install it now or you want to repair it now? If you want to repair your computer, you can go to the repair your computer. There you get, see the screen, you'll get it. Do you want to troubleshoot? If you want to click on troubleshoot, then you want to recovery from the image, or would you like to go to command prompt and you can do something. You want to do something with the firmware settings, you can do whatever things you wanted. But in my case, I'm going to install it freshly, right? So let me start from the beginning. Okay, I'm going to power on this one, because you should know how to repair the computer as well, because you are going to work as an engineer. You should know all these things, where the repair option comes, how the fresh installation should happen, right? So this is the wizard. Now let me take you to the installation wizard instead of the repair wizard. Yeah, now the same screen came, and I'm clicking on next. And now instead of clicking on repair, I'll click on install now. As soon as I click on install now, the operating system will give some options of available operating system, and some license terms and conditions. Okay, see, it is giving me, there are four types of operating system, the four versions of operating systems. Look at here, it's a Windows Server 2019 standard evaluation version. Another one is 2019 standard evaluation with desktop experience. Third one is 2019 data center evaluation. Fourth one is 2019 data center evaluation with desktop experience. If you guys select 2019 standard evaluation or 2019 data center evaluation, both the cases you will never get the UI. UI will not be there, only command line interface will be there, CLI will be there. You will install the operating system, but there is no command. I mean, there is no UI. You have to control everything in the command prompts only. Okay, but we are very much familiar with the UI. Things will be easy when you see and do the things, right? So I would always prefer you to go with the desktop one, but data center one. We always install the operating system with the data center version, because data center version is pretty much very good compared to other operating system flavors. It has got enhanced security, enhanced performance, okay, blah blah blah. And that is the reason we always go with the last option called 2019 data center evaluation with desktop experience. Okay, select that and say next. Once you click on next, then it will ask you to accept the license terms and conditions. Please read the license terms and conditions at the first time and say next. Once you click on next option, it will give you two options. One is upgrade, another one is custom or install. When you say upgrade, you already have something. I have the same thing I told you. You already have 2016 operating system. You want to make it to 2019. That time, click on upgrade. If you don't have any operating system at all and you are freshly installing the operating system, then click on the second option called custom install Windows only. Once you click that, then it will, if you remember, 60 GB hard disk I have given. And my manager told me, or my standard, in my office the standard is always 50 GB will make C drive and 10 GB will make D drive. So let me convert the 60 GB into two partitions. So first one is 50 GB, 51,200. So 1024 into 50, if you make, it will come 1024. For 51,200 MBs will be there. That is equal to 50 GB. Apply and OK. So now you have the first primary drive created. Okay. See, the first primary drive got created, and that is a 49.4 GB, because I gave 50 GB. The operating system created three more drives. See here, recovery 1, partition 1, 99 MB, disk drive 0 partition for 16 MB. So these all the operating system created drives to record some internal information, to enable to store the links between two drives, and storage table between two drives. Okay, two drives. So we don't need to use them. Operating system will only use them, and even you cannot see them when in the computer. Once you log into the computer, you don't see the three drives. Okay, so if you look at another 10 GB is left out with unallocated space. So, and I want to create that as one more drive. You click on new drive, use the complete space, and you see that got created now. 10 GB is the total size, free space is 10 GB, and it is a second primary drive. And as you are aware, the operating system should always be installed with the first primary drive. If you look at on the type column here, and you see recovery is there, rest system is there, MSR reserved is there, and then primary is there. The first primary is 49.4 GB. Select that and install the operating system. Once you click on installing the operating system, it starts the installation wizard. First, what it will do, it will copy all the content and data from the disk to the computer cache first. Okay, so computer cache will take the information and start opening each and every file and start installing the each and every files in it. Once the installation is done, then it will also check whether is there any features, new features available. Okay, and then it start installation of the features, and then it will also verify is there any latest updates for each package, the feature packages. It will also update the thing, and then finishing up, the computer get restarts once everything is done. Once the restart is done, then the computer gives you a login wizard. Okay, it will tell you please set your username and password in the first login. There you have to set your username and password, and then once you log in, your computer will be up and running ready. After that, you need to do the post build activities. Okay, already you are aware post build activities, you have a couple of activities like renaming the computer, making the IP address static, correct, and checking the time zone, checking the drives available, and then if you want to give any access to the computers, you can give, or applications you can give. Then we can install the roles features and then promote it as a domain controller. So that is all about our today's agenda. Let us wait for this installation to complete. Okay, then we can get. So now the computer got installed, and see it started restarting. Restart is also done. It's coming up now, the DC01. Okay, so once the computer got restarted, it is asking me to set the password for the administrator. Administrator is the one person who has got the complete authority of the computer. Okay, if you ask somebody ask you who is the super user of a computer. The super user of a computer is administrator. He can do anything and everything. He can do wonders, he can do miracles, anything, whatever you want to do, he can do. Okay, because all the complete authority of the computer is in his hand only. Okay, so we need to set the password for that. Normally the password should be complex, alphanumeric. Okay, so that's why what I do, I always prefer to have a password of password at the rate 123, because that has got capital P, rest all small letter, and it also gives you at the rate option. We will give you at that option, and also it takes the numbers. That is the reason. So we will add password at the rate 123. Make sense? So now I'm gonna finish it. I'm finishing it. Now I've set the password here. Yeah, my computer is now ready. Let me log in. Right click on the DC01 and send Control Alt Delete. So password at the rate 123. So once you give the password, now my computer is ready, and it started creating the profile for the administrator for the first time, because I am going to log into the computer for the first time. See, so quickly it got created. Now if I try to make it full screen, it is not giving me the full screen option. See, it is not coming full screen, in the middle only it's coming something, right? So the first and foremost thing, before we do anything, what I told you, you need to install the VMware tools for this, so that it will add additional drivers, additional plugins, add-ons and all. Then it makes the computer performs well. Okay, so just go to the VM tab here, and there is an option called install the VMware tools. Click on that install VMware tools. Once you click on the install VMware tools, an autoplay will come actually. Okay, an autoplay wizard will come. That is nothing but the installation of the VMware tools. Okay, see, when you go to this computer, my computer, and you see there is a CD got inserted here. You can just double click on it, and there is a setup file. Double click on setup file, and you are done. See, it is asking you to. It is now trying to open the file, and it is asking you to install the file. See, it will ask you to. Now the installation wizard will open now. Next, click on complete option here. Next, install. As soon as it is installing the drivers, automatically the computer will become full screen now. If I make the full screen here, see, it gets changed now. It will get changed. See, it installing the video driver. Now it will come full screen. See, now it is installing all the drivers, and it is asking you to finish, and it is asking me to restart, but I will not restart it now, because let me rename and then finally I'll restart it. Okay, now I'll go to the command prompt and I'll check what is the command to check the IP address, guys, of the computer.
ipconfig.
Yep, there is a command called ipconfig. When you use this, the computer will tell you what is the current IP address. If you simply put ipconfig, it will only give you these three informations. What is that? IPv4, I mean, what is IP version, what is the subnet mask, what is the gateway. Okay, if you want to see few more information, you can add a switch for that, ipconfig/all. If you put this switch, it will give you more information. Means it will also tell you what is the host name. Okay, it will also tell you whether the computer has got the DHCP server, I mean IP address. What is the IP address? Okay, default gateway IP address. See, what is IPv4 address, and what is the DNS server address, and what is the DHCP server address. All the information will be given, and also it will give what is the physical address or the MAC address of the computer. I don't want to see this. Now what I want to do, this address is not given by me. This is automatically taken or given by the VMware server. So once you get the any server that gets the IP address automatically, that means that's a dynamic IP address. Means I have not given the IP address. The dynamic IP address will keep on changing, but the server's IP address should be common. Okay, the server IP address should be common. Once again, guys. Yeah, fine. Then I want to make it as a static, because as you are aware, the IP address of the server should be static. Means once in the lifetime the IP address will be changed, because all the applications or the services you running in the server, they always accessed based on the IP address or on the names. Okay, so the names and the IP address should be static. If the IP address are keep on changing, say for example this server is there, now the IP address is like 192.168.230.180. So tomorrow that IP address, if the IP address has become 181, how will I know? Because I was all these days I was opening the IP application using 192.168.230.180 only. So like that, then the problem will arises. Okay, people start telling, I am unable to access the application, blah blah blah, some lot of noise will be there. So to avoid that one, any server, the server should have the static IP address. Once you give the IP address statically, manually, that IP address will be available the lifetime of the computer. It never gets changed. It never gets changed. Okay, so how to add it? Any idea how to add an IP address, guys? What is the command to open the network interface card? There is a command called ncpa.cpl, network control panel. If you hit enter, there is a wizard gets opens. Okay, and that wizard will help you to add the IP address statically. So ncpa.cpl, I don't know why it is not coming, but let me go on the graphics. Okay, here there is a computer icon in the below. Right click on this computer icon. Oh, I need to restart the computer. Nah, that's why. Sorry, I need to restart the computer after the, yep, after the driver upgrade. I need to restart the computer. Right, that is the reason it is not allowing me to open the wizard. So let me quickly restart the server, which is DC01. So now right click on this, send control alt delete, put the password at the rate 123. Yeah, now I have logged in. See, it has become full screen now. Now if you run the command ncpa.cpl, it quickly opens the network. See, it quickly opens the network interface card wizard. Now right click on the network interface card, Ethernet 0, go to properties, go to properties of it, and then here we have two IP address. One is Internet Protocol version 4 TCP IP v4, another one is Internet Protocol version 6 TCP slash IPv6. But currently in the market we are still using IPv4. Then I'll go with IPv4 and click on properties, and there you get two options. One is obtain an IP address automatically, second one is use the following IP address. If you select the first option, like obtain an IP address automatically, it automatically gets the IP address from the DHCP server. So the second option is use the following IP address. As soon as you click on this use the following IP address, it is asking you to add an IP address. So in my case, I'll put 192.168.190.30. Okay, imagine this is the IP address you got from the network team. So this IP address will be given by the network team to you, which IP address you should supposed to use. Okay, you supposed to use. So then the default gateway you can put 192.168.190.1, and subnet mask automatically populates. The second one, no, it automatically populates because it calculates based on the class of the IP address. This is a class C IP address. When you press tab, automatically 255, 255, 255.0 comes, and the gateway you need to manually add. And then below it is asking you to enter the preferred DNS server. If you remember, while explaining the theory, I told you DNS is very, very important. Without the DNS, Active Directory will not work. And I told you both DNS and Active Directory like husbands and wife. Correct? Huh? And it is asking you to enter the DNS server, but currently we don't have any DNS server. But when I install the Active Directory in this server, even the DNS will also get installed. Then I can call this server as an Active Directory server as well as the DNS server. Then in the place of DNS, I am going to put the same IP address, 190.30. Okay, and I will say, I click on OK. Then my computer has got this IP address. If you want to see, go to the command prompt, ipconfig/all. If you put, you see here it is DHCP enabled. It's now telling no because I have added the manually. I have added the IP address manually. That is the reason it is not yes. And you see the IP address, it is 192.168.190.30, 255, 255.0, 192.168.190.1 is the gateway. So I am good now. Now let me quickly check the name of a computer. What is the command to check the name of a computer? There is a command called host name. Okay, if you type a command called host name, see it is giving me the name like WinVoq51NVLT9L. Can you make anything out of it? it's a messy, right? You will not be able to make anything. Only one thing you can understand, win means it, you can only understand it's a Windows, but you will not be able to identify whether it is a computer, I mean client computer or server computer, which location it is belongs to, which facility it is belongs to. You cannot define it, correct now. So to make it proper, we need to rename this computer to the standard. In the VMware, at the VMware level, I have renamed it as DC01. So obviously, in the inside the OS should also be DC01 only. So renaming the computer can be done in two ways. One is graphics, like you go to the this PC, right click, go to properties, okay, and then change settings, and then go to computer name, click on change, and then here some name will be coming. Just make the changes, apply, okay. This is the UI, but I always refer you to do on the graphic UI CLI. Okay, there is a command called sysdm.cpl, system domain management.cpl, and if you hit enter, you will directly open the computer name renaming wizard. See computer name, click on change, put DC01 and apply. Okay, click on OK. Now the computer get restarts, then your machine will be renamed properly after the reboot. With this, I have now facilitated, I have done with all my prerequisites completed in order to convert this computer or a server as a domain controller. Okay, now tell me, now if I want to make this computer as a domain controller, which service I need to install? What is the service that I need to install? Guys, tell me. Last 2 days I was explaining the same thing. If you go to command prompt, sorry?
Nothing, sir. Nothing.
No, you are right. Tell me.
Should
Sorry?
Active Directory.
Exactly. You need to install the Active Directory. Before I do the installation, if I check host name, okay. See, now the computer got renamed to DC01. So I'm good. Time zone, if you want to change, you can go to the, see, it is not in the IST time zone, it seems. Go to the time, right click, adjust the time and time and dates. It is UTC. See, it is UTC Canada time. Pacific time is there. Okay. I want to keep it as IST timing. Okay. So that 5:30, this minus, okay. So GUTC 5:30 is our timing. Okay. Chennai timing 5:30. It is here. See, Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai. I'm good. See, now the time got changed below. 8 o'clock, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, early morning. Okay, I am good. Now, all the prerequisites are met. Now, I want to convert this server to a domain controller. So, in order to do that, what we have to do, we have to install the service called Active Directory. So, how to install the Active Directory? See, in any of the server, once you log in, a wizard will open. Okay, what is the wizard? Server manager. 1 second. Yeah. See, this is the wizard. This is wizard, we call it as server manager wizard. As soon as you log into any of the server operating system, not to the client operating system, Windows 10, Windows 11, you will not get it. Only in the Windows server, any server operating system, okay, you will get it. So once you log in, this server manager wizard opens, and there is an option called configure this local server, and you see add roles and features, add other server to manage, create a server group, connect to the server which is there in the cloud. Multiple options are there. But if you want to install something or anything, you can go to add roles and features. This is the place where you can install all the Windows services available in the operating system. All the Microsoft Windows services are available in this wizard only. Now we need to install the Active Directory, correct? Now, so before I do the Active Directory installation, let me go to the tools option here. Whatever applications or services you install, that will just come and sit in the tools option here. You can just see all the available services here. Let me check, is there any service called Active Directory? See, nothing is there with Active Directory because it is starting with the C, and there is no nothing is started with the A, correct? Now Active Directory is not there. So then I'm good. And see, the DNS is also not there. And see, the group policy management is also not there. See, C, nothing is there. So G, nothing is there. Okay. And DNS also nothing is there. Only disk cleanup is there. Okay. Now you are sure that my computer met with all the prerequisites, and you are sure my computer, my server doesn't have any service already running, the required one. So I need to install it now. How to do that? Click on add roles and features. Once you click on add roles and features, okay, so it is asking you to click on next option, and it gives you two options here. One is role based or feature based installation, second one is remote desktop service installation. So all our installation will be done in the first option, role based and feature based installation. Okay, but you see a second option called remote desktop service installation. Just to give a background, this service, by default, any computer, no, server operating system, by default at a time two users can connect. See, this server 2019 I have built now, DC01. Parallelly, either you or me, only two people can log in. If any third person need to log in, he need to kick any of the session. Either he need to take my session or your session. So to make multiple user log into the computer, there is a service called remote desktop service. Okay, if you install this one and give the licenses, you can install or you can log in multiple users at the same time to the same computer. You can, if you have 1,000 licenses, you can log in 1,000 users same time to the same computer. So in order to increase the concurrent sessions from 2 to more, we are installing the remote desktop services. Okay, just a heads up for you. Okay, but in my case, all the roles and features will be installed in the first option. I am going to install Active Directory, so I am selecting the first option. I am clicking on next now. Once you click on next, it is asking you, or it is giving you the information of the server. See, my server name is DC01. It is properly renamed. By looking at this, I can understand it's a domain controller, and IP address I only made it static, and operating system, yes, see, my operating system is a 2019 data center evaluation version. So I am good with this. So I click on next, and once you click on next, it will give you all the roles available in the computer. So I need to install Active Directory domain services. So where is the Active Directory domain services in this? You see multiple Active Directory. See, the first one is Active Directory certificate service. PKI service we call it as. Means if you want to create a certificate server, you can install the first one. If you want to create a domain controller, you can install the second one, this one. If you want to do a federation service, ADFS, okay, you can install the third one. And DHCP, DNS, blah blah blah. But in my case, I'm gonna install Active Directory domain services, because I'm going to convert this work group into a domain environment. So I'll select Active Directory. See, I have not selected DNS, I have not selected the group policy, I have only selected the Active Directory. But when I install Active Directory, both DNS and group policy will be installed as well. So I will click on next. See, group policy automatically selected here. I have not selected. So next and install here. So this installation will take around 30 to 40 seconds. Okay. So if you just install the Active Directory, doesn't mean that this computer will act as a domain controller. So it is like, you have got an offer from the government. Okay. Until and unless you go and report to the duty, it is not considered as you have a job. Correct, na? The same fashion here. It is, you have got an offer letter. That's all. You are not joined anywhere. They can take they can roll off your offer anytime, right? The same fashion applicable here. So once you install the role, you need to promote this computer to your domain controller. That is important actually. Okay. So how to promote? I'll show you now. Okay. So installation still going on, guys. So once it completes, it will give throw the information here, like installation is completed, like that it will throw an information. See now, the configuration is required, installation succeeded on the DC01, and there is a warning wizard also. See, there is a warning also populated here. So close this one, and you see there is a warning flag. click on that warning flag, and you see here configuration required for Active Directory domain services at DC01, and there is an option promote this server to a domain controller. So you need to click on this. In order to promote this computer to a domain controller, you need to click on that. As soon as you click on that, you get three options here. This is where the installation starts, guys. Okay. Now, add a domain controller to an existing domain. What is the meaning of it? Literal meaning, I'm asking. Add a domain controller to an existing domain means what's your understanding? Will this be applicable for us? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Am I not audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. See, I'm just asking the meaning of it actually. It is asking you, or it is giving an option called add a domain controller to an existing domain. That means you already have a domain and you are going to add an domain controller, means additional domain controller. If you remember, you already have one domain controller in Bangalore office and you are starting one more office in Hyderabad, and that is be adding to a domain. I mean, if you add that domain controller, that work as an additional domain controller. So in my case, do we already have a domain with us? Or we already have a domain or not?
Yes, sir.
Where is the domain?
Sir, one company will started, that means we create a domain.
No, no. In my case, in my current case, am I already have a domain here? Do I already have a domain?
No, sir.
We don't
We
have any
need to
domain.
create.
Yeah. So we don't have any domain. So first option is not valid. Then the second option, add a new domain to an existing forest. So it is telling me if you want to add a new domain to an existing forest, like you already have Microsoft.com and you are going to add a new domain called India, UK, USA. Will this be applicable now in my case? Speak, yes or no. Even it is not possible here because I don't have any forest at all. See, the very
We need
first
to go
domain,
audit. Yes.
sorry.
No, no, sir.
No, the second option is there, na. See, when you create a new domain, fresh T, that domain name is also same and the forest name is also same. When Microsoft started the first domain called Microsoft.com, that domain itself is a Microsoft and the forest name itself is a Microsoft. But when it start adding like my uk.microsoft.com, usa.microsoft.com or india.microsoft.com, this India, UK, US and Microsoft alone they called as a domain, altogether called as a forest. That's all. So both first and second option is not valid for us, but because we don't have any domain at all, we don't have any forest at all, it is a work group environment still. So then the third option is that add a new forest. That is valid because I am going to create a new forest or a new domain. Okay, so you click on the new forest and it is asking you to enter the root domain. See, it is asking you to enter the root domain. So let me consider this Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft.com. Okay, Microsoft. Okay, see, you should put both Microsoft plus .com, means both prefix and suffix you need to put. If I just give Microsoft and say next, see, it is throwing an error. Verification of the forest name is failed. The DNS name Microsoft proposed for this Active Directory domain and it a domain should be unique and fully qualified, consisting of one or more labels separated by a period, means dot. Okay, followed by a top level domain. The top level domain means what? Either it is .com, .in, .org, .net, okay, .military, .government. These are all the top level domains, and there they have given example. See, corporate.microsoft.com. Correct? Now that is a fully qualified domain name. If you simply put without suffix, that is called as net bias name. Okay, So now let me put as microsoft.com. This is my fully qualified domain name because it has got prefix and also the suffix. Okay, so say next. So once you click on next, it will validate the whether the name is correct or not. Yes, in my case it's if the name is correct, then it will give you an option to verification of DNS name. Microsoft proposed active directory. Microsoft, why it is not coming? No, it was the previous error actually. See, it is now took. Okay, now it took me to the next step actually, and it is telling me this is the forest functional level, this is the domain functional level. Means in your forest, if you have 2016 computer, and if you have any other old domain like 26 12 or 24 or other operating system, you can set the forest or domain function level accordingly. You can change it here. Okay, if the forest functional level is like if you want to forest function error 2022 2012, okay, you can make the changes. See, if the forest is 2012, you can have the computer of 2012 2022 LR2 and 2016. Okay, so you can adjust the forest functional level and the domain functional level. For you it is not required. Okay, let me complete put everything 2016 here. Okay, so then see the domain naming, it is going to install the DNS. I'm not selecting anything, and it is asking the DSRM password. Just select the DSRM password. The DSRM password should also be the same password, or the password should be rememberable. The very frequently used password should be there here. What does this password means? Like we have the recycle bin in the computer, in the active directory also you have an option to restore something. Deleted object can be restored. Okay, so to restore something, you need to go to the wizard called DSRM, Directory Service Restore Mode, DSRM. Okay, to go to that restoration mode, you need to have the password. That password is DSRM password. So I will click on next, and see it is asking me, do you want to delegate something? No, I don't want to delegate something. I'll click on next, and see now the microsoft.com I gave you an FQDN, it will give you the NetBIOS name. The NetBIOS domain name is only Microsoft it gives. See, it only gives the Microsoft. So I'm good with this. Say next, and this is the Active Directory database. Look at here, ntds is there na, and the file is ntds.dat. It will be there inside the C colon windows. Under that ntds, under that a file called ntds.dit will be there, and sysvol also same place. C windows and sysvol folder is there, system shared volume, and we should not change it. Okay, and next, and it is now verifying the prerequisites. The prerequisites are like whether the IP address is static or not, whether the computer is renamed or not, whether required .NET is installed or not. Some couple of things it will check, and once the prerequisites are checked, it will give you green symbol here. It passed successfully, some green clearance it gives. Then you can click on installation. The installation begins. It will complete within 30-40 seconds or less than a minute. Your computer gets converted to a domain from the work group. Then the look and feel will change, login prompt will change. In the tools you get multiple options of Active Directory. Okay, so we will end up the installation and promotion. Okay, yeah, see here all the prerequisites checks pass successfully. Click to install, begin installation. So I click on install. Now the installation started. See, starting, you read here at the starting, you read everything, you will understand better. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes, sir.
See, waiting for DNS installation to finish. See, checking for group policy management console needs to be installed. See, creating the partitions, Active Directory database, configuration partition, schema partition, domain partition, see, and application partition, all the partitions are getting created. See, Kerberos, securing the Kerberos policy, configuring the DNS server service on this computer. Active Directory is a very beautiful service, in fact. Okay, if you thoroughly know the Active Directory, if you have 2, 3 years or 4 years of experience, your package will be easily around 18 lakhs. Easily. Okay. See now, the installation, the server was successfully configured as a domain controller. Okay. See, the server was successfully configured as a domain controller. So then the computer automatically gets restarted. See, the computer get automatically restarted, and once the computer comes up, it will be the domain controller. It is applying some computer settings, because normally first time now all the registry changes and all will happen. They have to load, and first time it takes some time, like 2-3 minutes to log in. So once the restart is done and the computer comes up, so it will be a domain controller. The login prompt and all will change. Earlier it was only asking the administrator, now it will ask you like Microsoft/administrator. So such kind of things it will be coming. So any confusions or questions so far? You need to do the practice today only, all these things. So now the computer is up actually. Now if you just send the control alt delete here, now you see the complete look and feel got changed. Earlier it was only giving administrator, but now it is telling you Microsoft/administrator, correct? Huh? Because this computer is no or a work group now. Okay, if you log in, password at 123, you have logged into the computer. See, once you log into the computer, okay, if you want to see net sysdm.cpl, see it is now in the domain called microsoft.com. See, it is in the domain now. Domain name is microsoft.com, and the computer name, fully qualified domain name, is dc01.microsoft.com. So we are good. Now in order to verify whether the computer has got installed everything, you go to the tools here And in the tools you see you have multiple things now with the Active Directory, because we have installed the Active Directory and promoted the Active Directory. This server as a domain controller, right? See, Active Directory Administrative Center, Active Directory Domains and Trust, and Active Directory modules for PowerShell, and Active Directory sites and services, Active Directory users and computers, and ADSI edit. So these are the 6 components along with the group policy management, and then with the DNS. So these are the 8 components which get installed when we install and promoted a domain controller. Okay, but your work will always be with Active Directory users and computers only. If you want to create a new sites, you need to go to the sites and services. If you want to create the trust, like I was explaining, the domain trust, forest trust, realm trust, shortcut trust, to create the trust you need to go here. Okay, and to create the user, computer, password reset, groups, access, everything can be done here only. Click on users and computers, and you see here you have the domain called microsoft.com. Okay, and you see all the by default folders are there. So you can create multiple folders, like right click and new OU. Okay, India. See, this is a folder structure. This is what I was explaining you, the OU. Okay, under that you can create further OUs, for sub OUs. Maybe in India you can even do Bangalore also. Okay, under that you can create another branch, multiple departments, organization in it, IT. And here you start creating the user inside the ITOU, right click new users. Sanju at the rate Microsoft.com. Next. Okay, PASSW audio at the rate 123, PASSW audio at the rate 123, and I don't want to change the password. Say next, finish, finish. See how I have easily created the user account. So this is how this Active Directory will help you. I mean, how this is how you will install the Active Directory and make the things. So one more last thing to check the FSMO roles. Okay, now if you put net dom query FSMO, you see all the 5 FSMO roles are there in the DC01 only, because DC01 is the first primary domain controller, or it is a root domain controller. When you install the Active Directory in the root domain controller, all the 5 roles will be there in the same server. So later, if you can move this FSMO role from one server to another server, or you can keep one role in one server, or 2 in forest wide into one server, and 3 one another server. You can play however the way you want it, but Microsoft recommend you to keep it in at least 2 servers. Okay, so I'll show you all these things maybe after all our Active Directory day-to-day related activities. We can show you, I will show you how to move FSMR roles, all those stuff. Okay, so with this I think today's thing we are completed. So tomorrow what we will do, tomorrow we will do the daily activities of Active Directory. So what all things you do in the daily operations, okay, with respect to the Active Directory, what all work you do in the real-time office, we will take that. So with this, excuse me, sorry, I'm stopping the recording.